Happy Tuesday, everyone. Good to see everyone. Yes. Today, I want to talk about another type of budgeting that is really popular. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I started off with the envelope method because I was like, it's the envelope method. Who like yeah, it's one of the types of budgeting, but I really did not think that was gonna be as engaging, more engaging than what I thought, honestly, because I was just like, "Ah, the envelope method, who uses that anymore, right?" So I did use that method. I did use that method way back in the day, and so I just thought, there's so much technology. Who needs to use that method? But you know, when my husband was asking questions, I was like, whoa, okay. So this is really a thing. Like this is really a good method. Like it still is a good method. Because again, I talked about having a big bill and not wanting to break it, right? And so if you separate out your expenses that are discretionary, like gas and food and other things, right? Other miscellaneous things, or shopping, right? Shopping's a big thing. Those discretionary expenses, then once you run out of money in those envelopes, they are gone. And so today I want to talk about another method. The other method is called the 70-10-10-10 rule. This is from Jim Rohn. And I went with this one because there were other methods, and I felt like, yeah, that's great, but I feel like that there's some people that aren't there. Meaning, now you can get there if you. You know what? I probably do need to do a poll about how many people, like what percentage of your income is used on necessary expenses, like living expenses. We're talking about food, like just living expenses, rent, a place to live, right? um Utilities, transportation, car payments, right? What is the percentage of your income that goes towards those expenses? And so um there were some that said you only want to have 50%, but so I was thinking, let's go with 70, right? 70 may be a big number for you, but here's what I'll say. I'll go ahead and explain it, and then I'll tell you the adjustments you can make, right? So this is what Jim Rohn, like this is one of the budgeting methods that is real simple, and basically it says that you want to have 10%. So I'll give you the small percentages. You want to have 10% for giving. So if you give tithes, or if you give to charity, you have 10% for giving. You have 10% for savings. So you save 10% of your income, right? So 10% for giving, 10% of savings, and then 10% for investing, right? 10% for investing. So again, that makes up 30%, 10% for giving, 10% for saving the money, and then 10% for investing, whether if that is passive investing, right? And so what's left over? You have the 70% that you'll actually live on, right? That will be used for your things like, and I'll go ahead and read them just in case I miss it. It will be used for things such as um, your your rent, your mortgage, your utilities, your groceries, insurance, transportation, loans, household products, medication, holidays, shoppings, dates, dining out, entertainment subscriptions, memberships, hobbies, exercise, right? I'm just throwing that in there, right? So that's what you're going to use 70% of your income on, is just living, right? Now, again, I know we talked about the envelope method. You can use a combination of both, like for things like groceries or shopping or different things like that, dining out, right? Um, You want to have that separate, but it's very loose, right? Because it seems to only give an assignment to the three areas, such as 10% for giving, 10% for savings, and 10% for investments. And so, whenever you think about giving, again, that's like giving to your charity, giving your tithe at your church, just giving however you want to give. If you set a 10% like giving fund, right? And then you have savings. Now that savings could be 10%. That's going to be 10%, and that's going to help build your savings. That's going to help possibly pay off debt or buy a home, or if you're creating an emergency fund, you are saving 10% of your income. And then you have your investments. Your investments, in this sense, they're talking about passive investments such as stock investments, right? Real estate investments, mutual funds, cryptocurrency, and different things like that. And so that's what they're talking about as far as investments. And so those are really just the four areas that you want to use. Now, again, I will say that there is an adjustment, right? So if you are like, there's no way I can only just live off of 70% of my income, because you may be thinking in your head, well, I use all of my income. I use 100% of my income just on expenses. I don't put any to I can't afford to put any towards giving, savings, or investings. So I'll have an option, or I'll have something for you to help to provide a remedy for that. And that remedy is to start somewhere. So what does that mean? That means that you still want to go ahead and just start somewhere. Meaning there is something within your living budget, right? What do they call the 70, just your expenses, your living expenses. I can guarantee you that if you can't start with 30%, meaning 10%, 10%, 10%, you want to at least, start wherever you can. If it's 5%, if you can only have 15% of your income to spare in giving in those three areas, to giving, to saving, and to investing. And if you said, hey, listen, I don't even have 15%. Okay, well, I know you can do this. I bet you could do this. Is It's not the amount that counts, it's the plan that counts, says Jim Rohn, right? It's not the amount that counts, it's the plan that counts. If you never open up, if you never set an intention for investments, if you never set an intention for savings, if you never set an intention for giving, when will you ever start? A lot of people said that they would start if there was a windfall, right? Okay, if I get blessed with my taxes, right? Okay. Some people do hold true to that. But what happens is that it just goes through the same buckets, because you didn't create a pathway for the savings, you didn't create a pathway for the investing, you didn't create a pathway for the giving. And so how could you ever start those funds if you never start? So here's a suggestion. I bet you that you can find at least 1% of your money, right? Do it off the net check, right? If you can, or at least start with a fixed dollar amount. Here's something else I would suggest too. Depending on what type of job you have, go to the payroll office, set up new bank accounts, go to the payroll office and say, I would like to have a portion of my check. It doesn't have to be a big amount. I did this at one of my other jobs. I put fixed amounts of savings into another account. So whenever I needed to get, oh, goodness, this my particular car fixed, then I had the money in there because I've been continually saving up. You're not even gonna miss it. So if you can, go ahead and automate it, right? My hand's itching. I don't know. Does that mean does that mean money's coming right now? So that's what I would say. Create a pathway. Set up a savings, Um, Set up what's that called out there? The Acorn, right? If you can't open up an E Trade, was it Robinhood or something like that? I don't know. Robinhood, I think is really good. I think they've really advanced. And then for giving, right? Set $5 a month or something that you can do to actually send a pathway. I know what's created in our minds may be like, well, that's not enough. I mean, what's $1 going to do, right? It's the plan, right? It's the plan. Because once you start seeing accumulating, you're like, okay, this is doing something. And once you set more of an intention, once you create a pathway, you'll actually start widening those pathways for more increase to come in those other funds. And so, no matter where you are, you can start somewhere. Again, 70, 10, 10. If you can't do 70, 10, 10, do 85% and then 5%, 5, 5. If you can't do that, do, trying to think of an even number. If you can't do that, at least do 97%, 1%, 1%, 1%. And if you can't even do that, right, which I bet you could, because even if your income per month was like $5,000, right? I don't know what people make, I'll just put $5,000. If you did 10%, yeah, that's a lot. Let's just say that was net. Yeah, that's like $500. That's like $500. That sounds like big amounts, like 500, 500. Again, if you couldn't do that, right? If you couldn't do that, even if you did 1%, that's $50. $50, $50, $50. So, yeah, anyone can do it. That's what I'm saying. Anyone can do it. I challenge you to open up a bank account or at least a Robinhood or something, start investing, right? To give somewhere, right? And then, like I said, if it's a set dollar amount, if it's $5 to give, right, to your church or to a charity, if it's uh, $5 of savings, you can save that every month. Yes, if you do $5 times 12 months, that's $60. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but if that doesn't sound like a lot, then I bet you can increase the amount that you put in there. I don't know if I'm challenging someone, but you can increase the amount that you put in there. Um, yeah, you can. And it'll also help too with shopping. So if you are a big holiday shopper, right, you can start saving right now. Like, just you won't even miss it. And so if you can do $50 a month, if you can have $100 to spare and split it into three categories, then just do that, right? $100 that goes away in food, Starbucks, all of that. Just start somewhere, right? Giving, savings, investing. So that's all I got. Y'all got any questions? Go ahead and inbox me. Again, you got the envelope method. That's one type. You can use the 70, 10, 10, 10 rule. And I already modified it for you. You could do the 97, 1, 1, 1 rule. So, all right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed one and God bless y'all. Bye-bye.